In the previous video, we had discussed about Charles' law. I'm sure everyone knows what a pressure cooker is. So, pressure cooker is actually a device, or rather something used in the kitchen to speed up the cooking process of rice. So, what happens is it was found that the pressure cookers seem to be more energy efficient, and that's why people decided, okay, it makes sense, let's just start using pressure cooker because it saves energy. But the thing is, what happens inside a pressure cooker, right? So when we provide temperature, when we heat the cooker, there is an increase in pressure. And this is exactly what Gay Lussac's law is all about. So another example of such a situation could be tires. So tire pressure on a normal day will stay constant. You fill in the air. But when it's very cold, then you might notice that the pressure of the tire decreases significantly. And when it's very hot, like really hot, and then obviously the roads are going to be even more hotter because they're basically darker in color. And so in turn, what happens is there have been cases where the tires burst. So this is also because of the variation of pressure with temperature. So on a hot day, there is an increase in temperature, so the pressure also increases. On a cold day, there is a decrease in temperature, so the pressure also decreases. So in Gay-Lussac's law, the constant constant quantities are going to be volume and the amount of gas, whereas the variables are pressure and temperature. So here we are taking, so the mathematical relationship between the pressure and temperature was given by Joseph Gay Lussac. And according to this law, at a constant volume, pressure of a fixed amount of gas varies directly with temperature. So at a constant amount of gas and volume, pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So P by D will be equal to a constant that is equal to K3. In Boyle's law it was K1, in Charles it was K2, and in this case it is K3. There's another relationship, P1 by T1 will be equal to P2 by T2, where the temperature is T1 and T2, the variation of pressure is P1 and P2. That's all. Gay-Lussac's law is pretty easy, right? Pressure directly proportional to temperature at a constant volume and the fixed amount of gas. Now there was, so based on the relationships which were derived from Boyle's law and Charles' law, this equation came up. Now this is the graph that represents Gay-Lussac's law. So it was found that, first of all, these individual lines where we're talking about pressure in relation to temperature, they are called as isocores. So these are isocores. We know what's an isobar. We learned that in Boyle's law. This is an isocore. So they notice that a straight line is obtained when pressure and temperature are plotted. And this is at a fixed volume. So at various volumes, you have different slopes where V1 is the least, V2, then V3 is greater than V2, and V4 is greater than V3. So when the volume increases, the line is shifting downwards, and this is because the slope is going to decrease with increase in volume. That's all about Gay-Lussac's law. So Gay-Lussac's law, you have a constant volume and a fixed amount of gas. The variables are going to be pressure and temperature. So according to Gay-Lussac's law, pressure is directly proportional to temperature, and this obviously is going to be at these constant values. So this is equal to a constant. This particular relationship was obtained from Boyle's law as well as Charles' law. So based on them, we have gotten this relationship, and when we plot the graph between pressure and temperature, we obtain straight lines. The reason we have dotted these lines is because each of them would have been they've been extrapolated to 0 Kelvin. That's the absolute temperature. recap on Charles law. So, and with variation in volume, so V1 is the least, V2, then V3, then V4. This is because with decrease in temperature, the slope will increase. Or the other way around. With that, we're done with Gay Lussac's law. In the next one, we'll be discussing about the Avogadro's law.